Hello friends and fellow artists, Miss Katie here. Today we're going to be making some cool paper animal hats. And Josephine's here to help us out. So, the supplies that you're going to need for this project is going to be colorful paper, some scrappy paper, a straight edge or a ruler, pencil, scissors, some type of adhesive. I recommend tacky glue or a glue stick could probably work, and possibly some markers. You can use either permanent markers or washable markers. All right, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is determine what type of animal do you want to be. I'll make a few different types of ears and show you how to attach them, and some other things you might use to make your animal look more realistic. So I'm going to start by making a giraffe, and you guys can follow along. Feel free to pause the video at any point and catch up. All right, see you guys in a minute. So to start my giraffe, I'm going to pick out what color of paper I want to use for his headband. I think I'll use this yellow. I'm going to start by making the strap of the headband by using a straight edge or a ruler and using my pencil. And I'm just going to use the width of this ruler and draw a line that will be cut out. Now, this paper is not big enough to go around my head, so I'm going to cut 2 and see if that works. Next, I'm going to use my scissors and cut along the line. Okay, next I'm going to take these 2 pieces and attach them together with some glue. You can use tacky glue if you have it. If not, glue stick would be fine. Even hot glue would work. So I'm going to get a bit of tacky glue and attach these together. This part is going to be the headband that wraps around. So while I wait for this part to dry, I'm going to start working on a pattern for my ears. Okay, so for my pattern, I'm going to use a piece of scrappy paper first and draw what I think my ear might look like. A giraffe has kind of small, pointed ears, so I'm going to draw a curved line that's a little bit short and pointy at one end, and then another curved line that's a little bit short and pointy coming together. Next, I'm going to cut it out. Then I might hold it up to myself, look in a mirror and say, how does this look for my giraffe ear? Looks good? Okay, let's use it. Now, on one side, I am going to write P for pattern. Excuse me, Kitty Joe. Excuse me, Kitty Joe. That way, when I cut my ear twice, they will be matching and symmetrical. So I'm going to go back to whatever color paper I'm going to use for my ear, and I'm going to draw my ear one time, trace around it one time, then I'm going to cut my paper and fold it in half like this. That way I can cut 2 at one time. So I have a fold here, and I will be able to have 2 ears when I'm finished. Holding my paper tightly, and voila, 2 giraffe ears. I think what I'll do is flip one ear over like that, and there we have it. 2 symmetrical ears, mirror facing ears. So next, if I want to put some color inside my ears, I'm going to do that step next. I'm going to take a different color. I'll use pink this time. And I'm going to trace my ear again on the very edge. Notice I'm tracing on the very edge. I wouldn't want to trace in the middle of my paper. That would waste a lot of paper. So I'm going to trace my ear at the very edge. Now this part's going to be a little bit different because I want my ear, the pink part, to be smaller. So once I have this traced, I know that the inside will be smaller, and I'm going to trace it again, this time smaller. Let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to do the same thing I did with my yellow ear, which is cut it a little bit out, fold it in half, cut 2 at once, so let's see how they look. If you notice, I have a little bit of pencil here, so I could erase it, or I could just use the back, like so, and there we have it. 2 ears ready to glue. All right, so when I'm going to glue my ears down, what I want to do is I want to put a pretty good amount of glue to the back, going all the way off the ears, like so. Notice that I'm using a piece of scrappy paper below so I don't get the table all messy. Okay, now I'm going to show you another cool trick you can do to your ears to make them look a little bit more lively. I'm going to take my scissors and make one little snippet, just part way up. After it's snipped, I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to just put a little touch of glue on one side and hold it together like so until it sticks. If you have a clothespin, you could pin these together while you wait for them to dry. Another expert tip here, guys, when you're using tacky glue, if you set it on its side, it will take a lot less time for it to flow back down to the top. All right, we're gonna set these aside and think about anything else we can do to our giraffe headband to make it a little bit better. All right, guys, so here are my ears. They look pretty good, right? So I was thinking, what else does a giraffe have? I know, those cute little horns and maybe some spots. So I'm gonna use some brown paper and make his little horns, and then I'm going to use some brown marker and maybe put a little bit of giraffe pattern on my headband. All right, let's get back to work. All right, we're going to make our little horns. First, we'll make a pattern and try them on, make sure they're the right size. We also need to make sure we have enough room here to overlap where it's going to be glued down. I think this one's a little too short. I'm going to draw it again. That's why it's good to make a pattern first. So I'm going to make 2 lines that come up like that, and then a ball on top. And you know what? For this part, you could even trace something if you wanted the top to be a little bit neater. Okay, I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to make 2 horns with my brown paper. All right, now it's time to start kind of laying our headband out, and then we'll get it glued together and also do any kind of last minute embellishing or decorating. Excuse me, Kitty Joe. All right, friends, we're gonna put some giraffe spots on this and then maybe look at some other ways we could make ears. So I'm gonna do a little coloring on this and then I'll see you in a minute. All right, friends, it's time to put our headband together. And for this part, you're going to want to look in a mirror. I've focused most of the giraffe spots towards the front because the back of it will be covered. And you're going to want to kind of figure out where your ears are going to go, because if you put them too far behind, they're going to end up in the back of your headband. So you're going to want to kind of hold it up to a mirror like this, and then kind of place one, and then place the other, and then from there, you're gonna take it down and I'm gonna show you how to attach things. All right, now I kind of know around where I want my ears to be. I'm going to just take some tacky glue or glue stick or hot glue, whatever you have, and then I'm gonna glue my little ears down to the front. Now these ears are going to be a little bit facing down, but that's kind of the look I was going for. If you want them to be a little bit more up, maybe don't clip them quite as much as I did. Be careful because tacky glue can be a bit messy. You'll probably want to put down some paper for your work surface to protect your table. Here's my other little ear. And then for the horns, I'm going to put my glue on the back side of my headband like so. All right, once that sits and dries for a bit, then you can attach it in the back to fit your head. Make sure you attach it really well so it doesn't fall off. You can also use a stapler to attach it. All right, I'll see you guys in a minute and show you how to make a few different other kinds of ears. All right, a few other kinds of ears I was thinking about could be a rabbit, which would be a much longer kind of shape than what we had drawn for our giraffe. Remember, this is your pattern, so you don't really need to do any erasing. What about horns? You could do short little goat or cow horns, or maybe some longer curly horns. How about some floppy ears, like a dog's ear? Maybe it looks something like that. You're gonna have to play around with the shapes and with some slits and some cuts and some attachments to know how these will work. That's why it's always good to make a pattern first. So for something like a bunny ear, this one might be a good one to not make any slits in at all and just have it be straight attached to your headband. So you're gonna have to play around with it and see what you come up with. Hello, we're back, and this is Dottie. She clearly loves the rabbit hat I made her. Just kidding, she doesn't love it, but she's adorable in it. And here's how my giraffe hat turned out. I'm very, very excited to see what you boys and girls have come up with for your animal hat. So I'll be in touch with you, and I hope to see you and speak with you very soon, and I'm excited to see what you've come up with. Until next time.